What's up, you all? Welcome to another fun-filled show. I'm your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanche Radamus, aka Blanchy Kruger. And let me say this. This is a side note from tonight's topic, but there's this thing going around about black men needing to heal, black men having some type of trauma, black men having it hard in life. Black, it's all cap. It's all cap. The reason why black men are struggling is because black men have made leadership optional. Somebody told them that them being a leader was their choice, and it was a lie. If you are a man, God created you to lead, specifically a woman, specifically a family. So when black men made that optional, that's when things started to fall apart. So, dear black men, you don't need to heal. You don't have any trauma. You don't have any past issues. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not going through a life that's harder than anybody else's life. None of that is applying to you. The reason why you are struggling is because you don't want to be a leader. And you don't want to lead because you are a coward. You've never heard a coward say, I love my life. You never heard a coward say, I got a great life. You never heard that. You all are trying to rewrite the script. You're trying to have a king's existence, but you live like a coward. It's not going to work. So hopefully y'all will stop saying that black men need to heal and that y'all need to do something extra for them. Ladies, what y'all need to do is hold these men accountable. Ladies, hold these men to the same standard as God does. And I guarantee most of them are going to fold like a cheap suit. Anyway, listen, let's get started. Today's title is The Protesting of Western Culture. And I was just talking about black men in leadership, and a black man not wanting to lead is an attack on Western culture. A black man being led by his woman is an attack on Western culture, because Western culture is the closest thing we have to God. I'm sorry. Corey Supreme said, God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. Amen. And there's too many of you all running around here trying to hide behind your skin color and your trauma and what you're going through. There is no black man in America going through a hard life that he has not made hard for himself. Any black man having a tough time in America has made it tough for himself. You got people that can't even speak their English, and they coming over here living a great life. You got folks coming to this country who can't even speak their English, and they having a great life. So how in the world are y'all born here generation after generation after generation, and you're struggling? I call cap. The black man has an excuse. He's the only man that can sit back and point his finger and blame somebody else for his misfortunes in life. He's a coward. He's weak. That's why the black man's having a tough life. And black women, I don't know what y'all are doing. You all are giving these cowards and these degenerates your mind, your body, and your soul. You literally are giving these black men your birthright just for them to squander on it. Just for them to squander it away. You all are throwing pearls among swine, giving these black men your body, giving these black men your best years. And what's been the result? What's been the result? Death, destruction, and damnation. And the very men that terrorize you all, y'all raising them. It's disgusting. And a black woman that is not submitted to a righteous man is an attack on Western culture. It's an attack on Western culture because it is an attack against God's word. Anybody living out of order is an attack on God's word. Black men don't need no help, need no therapy. Black men don't need no therapy. Need to stop making excuses. I got some therapy for the black man. Stop making excuses. I got some therapy for you. Stop making excuses.
Address what's happening right now outside of the building. There are ruthless attacks that are creating fear and chaos in our communities in the name of law and order. Trump is using military forces to stop a protest. And I want y'all to consider what kind of government it appears to be when every time we exercise our democratic right to protest, the military is deployed against us. What type of government is that?
Dochi, you're leaving out the part where y'all are attacking the police and destroying property and setting stuff on fire. You're leaving the part where y'all are breaking the law. You know, arson is against the law. The destruction of private property is against the law. The destruction of public property is against the law. The destruction of police vehicles is against the law. Attacking the police is against the law. So you're leaving out the part where y'all are attacking and tearing up stuff. Talking about democratic process. This is what I'm talking about. This is an attack on Western culture. Today's title is The Protesting of Western Culture. That's what they're fighting against. Could you imagine a world? Could you imagine a world where America is ran by a bunch of emotional black people and libtards? Could you imagine? Could you imagine the liberals running America? Oh, my bad. We saw it for 4 years with Joe Biden. And we got a glimpse of it. Imagine if Kamala was president. Go ahead, Dochi.
People are being swept up and torn from their families, and I feel it's my responsibility as an artist to use this moment to speak up for all oppressed people, for Black people, for Latino people, for trans people, for the people in Gaza. We all deserve to live in hope and not in fear, and I hope we stand together, my brothers and my sisters, against hate, and we protest against it. Thank you, BT.
Imagine this woman on a stage getting an award, using her platform to talk about some nonsense. If she cares so much, why is she out there on the front lines? Since she cares so much. If you care so much, why aren't your boots to the ground? Most people are going to listen to this young lady speak and believe what she's saying. That's what I'm telling you all, that Black people have the greatest privilege known to man. Black people are able to speak and everybody believes what they're saying. That is a dangerous, dangerous gift to have. Where a Black person can get on any stage and say something, people believe it. Like, listen, I know she's lying, but the average person thinks she's telling the truth. Just an industry plan. I'm gonna start calling them what they are, the industry plans. Anytime you can get into an industry and you can be bought and sold that fast, you're a plant. Anytime you can go into an industry and you can be bought and sold that fast, you're a plant. This is crazy. She's saying utter nonsense. A Black audience is full of Black folks just clapping. Black folks have no clue of what's going on. Zero. I think about where I was 5 years ago. I didn't know anything. Y'all are behind where I was 5 years ago. The average, listen, 5 years ago, I didn't know anything. Most Black people are behind where I was 5 years ago. The learning curve is too great. Most of these Black folks are going to be sheep for the slaughter. I'm just telling you. They're not going to make it because it's too much to learn. Take that back. It's not too much to learn. They don't have enough character to learn it. It's not an impossible task. Because with God, all things are possible. Not an impossible task. They don't have the character to learn this stuff. They don't have the character to sit down and listen to Chad, or sit down and listen to Chuck, or sit down and listen to Keisha. They don't have the character to do it. They don't have the character to sit down and actually listen to a Cutting Through the Culture show. They don't have the character to do it. They have the ability, they don't have the character. You see, most folks are going to hell not because of what they didn't know, but because of their character. It's what they weren't willing to do. But let's continue. Let's continue.
I mean, if I support the protests that are going on in LA, I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown fucking tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America, in a country that gave you the fucking freedom to do that shit. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted, I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while shitting on the country that gave you the fucking freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to fucking Mexico unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the US government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash, your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream dumb shit without a cartel rolling up on your motherfucking ass. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 fucking Jordans, screaming about injustice, in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires in the fucking country. Y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail at a fucking Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, loot, tearing up your own shit, you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support the protest. Keep fucking going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got the fucking balls to move to. And shitting on the system that literally gives you the right to shit on it.
I want you to think about how wonderful America is. And I want to compare America to God. God says that if you want to be a reprobate, I will give you over. Think about that. Think about God giving you the desires of your heart. Think about how honorable God is. Even though God loves you, even though God wants a relationship with you, God is so honorable that God gives you over to what you want. Now let's think about America. America says, even though you hate us, we still give you the right to peacefully protest. People keep leaving out that peaceful part. America says, even though you hate us, we still give you the right to peacefully protest against us. We still give you the right to air your grievances against us. This is the greatest country on earth. And it reminds you of God. God is like, if you want to rebel against me, I'm going to let you have it. God says, you want to hate me and curse me, I'm going to let you have. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you over to it. I'm going to give you what you want. America says, listen, even though you hate the country, even though you're an actual enemy to the America, we're still going to give you rights. Think about that. America says, even though you mean to do harm to the country, we're still going to do what's right by you. Even the worst people on the planet that live in America that commit these heinous crimes, they still get treated like human beings when they get locked up. Don't tell me prison is bad and all that stuff, because y'all ain't been to prison in other countries. It's folks in prison in America with cell phones and iPads. It's folks in prison in America with social media accounts. It's folks in prison in America with conjugal visits. It's folks in prison in America that they got a YouTube following, Instagram following, Twitter following. It's folks in prison living a great life. So don't tell me prison is bad. I want you to think about God and think about America. And think about how honorable America is. America is saying, even if you hate us, we're still going to treat you right. God says, even though you hate me, I'm still going to be here when you're ready. So these people going against Western culture, these people going against America, these people are going against God. Why do I say that? Because what's the alternative? The alternative is Satan. Because the alternative is communism and globalism. This guy just broke down how insane you all look. You all are protesting a country that allows you to protest. Do you know how entitled you have to be? Do you know how deplorable you have to be as a human being to bite the hand that feeds you? It's crazy. You all are breaking, you all are fighting tooth and nail to come to this country from around the world. And then when you get here, you start complaining. But in your country, if you complain, they knock your head off. I mean, literally, knock your head off and it's on the side of the road. I don't respect you all. I don't respect you. I don't. It would be different if y'all came over here. I'm talking about these last 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about these last 4 years. These last 4-year immigrants been something different. We could tolerate the 2020 and before immigrants. This new immigrant, the 2021, the end of 2020 immigrant till now, that immigrant now. Because y'all came here through a globalist agenda. Y'all were a part of a military operation. So I ain't talking about the immigrants from pre-2020. I'm talking about the Biden administration immigrants. That's a whole different animal. That's a whole different beast. They came over here to destroy. Let's continue.
Legal immigrant from China, and you will never see me wave a Chinese flag, especially right now that flag is associated with a communist and totalitarian regime. After all, after I spend all that money, resources, and time to immigrant legally to America, why the fuck I wave a flag that I spend so much money to get away with? Actually, I fly a Texas flag on my house because I'm proud Texan right now.
Listen to the Chinese. Listen to him again.
So
Listen to
I'm
him
a
again.
legal immigrant from China, and you will never see me wave a Chinese flag, especially right now that flag is associated with a communist and totalitarian regime. After all, after I spend all that money, resources, and time to immigrant legally to America, why the fuck I wave a flag that I spend so much money to get away with? Actually, I fly a Texas flag on my house because I'm proud Texan right now. America, why the
Now, this man told y'all. He said, I came over here legally. This man said, I'm a proud Texan from China. Do you know how much? Okay, you got heaven. So you got China and you got heaven. The middle ground of that is America. You got heaven, you got China. The middle ground is America. This man is in Texas from China. I'm waving the Texas flag. He said, why would I wave the flag of the country I fled from? I'm gonna ask you all the same thing. Why are y'all waving the flag of the country you all fled from? I'll tell you why. Because you all are coming to destroy. That's why. You are coming to destroy. That man said, why would I wave the Chinese flag and it's a communist government? Black fool, everybody should be allowed to celebrate their culture. What if their culture is communist, though? What if they're globalists? You see, the problem here is that Black folks in America, and I'm going to say this again for the people in the back of the class, we can blame the Jews, y'all can blame white people, y'all can blame whoever, but none of this stuff is possible without the willing participant of you bligities. If the Jews couldn't use you bligities, then what could they do? If the libtards couldn't use you bligities, then what could they do? If the communists couldn't use you bligities, what could they do? If the globalists couldn't use you bligities, what could they do? So the common denominator ain't them, it's you all. And you all are willing participants in the destruction of America. That's why I don't even entertain nobody else talking about nothing else. I focus on y'all. Because I know at the end of the day, you all are going to be used to do it. When the Antichrist is coming, y'all going to be singing his praises. You all. I saw y'all do it with Obama. I saw you do it with Biden. I saw you do it with these depraved celebrities. I seen y'all do it too many times. So the writing is on the wall. You did it with MLK. You did it with all of them. But let's continue. Hope y'all enjoying the show. But let's continue. It's my boy Kofi right here. I don't know if they're going to try to flag me for the music, so I'm going to just cut the music off. But Kofi made his video, how long before they give them a Jorge Floyd to worship? I mean, think about it, y'all. It's coming. The Jorge Floyd is coming, y'all. The Jorge Floyd is coming. Jorge Floyd, listen, it's already set up because they're doing so much. Something gonna happen. Something's gonna happen, y'all. How long before they give them a Jorge Floyd to worship? It's coming. It's coming. And he gonna be the symbol of hope, the symbol of freedom. Oh my goodness. They're gonna talk about how great he was, how wonderful he was. Oh, they're gonna have him on video throwing rocks at police. They're gonna have him on video throwing rocks, setting off fireworks, burning stuff. They're gonna have him on video doing all kind of crazy stuff, but somehow, some way, he's gonna be a hero. How long before they give us Jorge Floyd? Oh, mi hijo. Oh, mi hijo. Ah, they kill me, mijo. Muerte, mi mijo. They're going to have an old Spanish lady crying in front of the camera. It's going to go viral. Oh, mi mijo. Mijo, muerte. Oh, mi. It's going to go viral. They're going to be, oh my, it's going to be so disgusting. Oh my goodness. It's going to be so disgusting. And they're going to have her dressed in like traditional, Mexican clothes. Now, she ain't going to have no model. She going to have all them robes they be wearing and the head going to be covered. They going to have her looking so authentically Mexican. Oh, it's going to be so disgusting. La migra. La migra. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be crazy. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Get this straight. Y'all upset at Donald Trump for deploying the National Guard to Los Angeles to assist ICE with the raids and getting these illegals out of here. Y'all mad at him about that. Why do y'all think that Donald Trump, that man campaigned on that? He campaigned on getting the illegals out of here. And the majority of Americans voted for that. They voted for him in large part because they want the illegals out. And he has a track record of getting them out.
They're going to have back to Jorge. They're going to have, I'm going to start back. Somebody said they're going to have, they're going to have his mural set up, around his mural, they're going to be selling t-shirts. They're going to be selling. Matter of fact, you know what? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second, y'all. 1 second. I almost forgot, man. Y'all, I almost forgot, y'all. Let me go and get I ain't doing it justice, y'all. He ain't doing it justice. I ain't doing it justice. I ain't doing it justice, y'all. What was I thinking? What was I thinking, y'all? What was I thinking? Oh, man. You know what? Oh, man. I knew I shouldn't have gave that hat away. Man. Here I come, y'all. I knew I shouldn't have gave that hat away. Look at me now. I need it. Now I need that. Now I need. Oh, I found one of them. This will do. This will do. But yeah, man. My bad, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm back though. I'm back. I'm back. Y'all can't really see it, but it's a little poncho I got on. You know, y'all can't really see it. But my point is, around the mural they're gonna have I want y'all to see it. Hold on, can y'all see it? I got the little flag, look at my little flag crest too. But anyway, so but around Jorge's mural, they're gonna have, somebody said, the candles, they're gonna have the piñatas, they're gonna be cooking up the street tacos and the tamales, the dude with the little cart with the little popsicles in them, he gonna put the little bell on it, he gonna be bring, 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 like they gonna have it set up. It's gonna be Jorge t-shirt, Jorge ponchos, like, this is gonna be so disgusting. It's gonna be George Floyd 2.0 but times 1,000, because they in LA. They in LA. LA is like 90% Mexican. So it's gonna be George Floyd on steroids. But anyway, let's continue.
I don't give a fuck what that MSNBC poll says. Talk about the at Donald Trump for deploying the National Guard to Los Angeles to assist ICE with the raids and getting these illegals out of here. Y'all mad at him about that. Why do y'all think that Donald Trump, that man campaigned on that? He campaigned on getting the illegals out of here. And the majority of Americans voted for that. They voted for him in large part because they want the illegals out. And he has a track record of getting them out. I don't give a fuck what that MSNBC poll says. Talk about the majority of Americans don't want all the illegals deported. You kidding me? That's a bullshit ass poll. You fucking liars. That's why nobody watches your damn channel no more, MSDNC. Sit your asses down. Your channel needs to be defunct. Putting out bullshit like that. But anyway, look, I agree with Donald Trump sending the National Guard in there to help with the ICE raids, because these protests in Los Angeles are going too far now. They're going too fucking far. Now look, you have the right to protest, citizens. You have the right. You have the right to do it. Do it. However, look, it's not even the citizens of this country that's really taking it out of hand. It's the doggone illegals who are out there protesting, man. How are you an illegal in this country protesting that you have the right to be here when you don't have the right to be here? What documentation do you have that says you have the right to be in this country? Come on, tell me. Bullshit asses. And then at the same time, you...
Oh, let me go here. I'm gonna come back to you. I know, I can tell he was frustrated because he walking somewhere. He was frustrated. Let's go to this lady right here real quick. Hold on. I'm just giving reactions to what's going on.
Between Gavin Newsom and President Trump. Gavin Newsom, after President Trump said in the noon hour in the Oval Office that he called him yesterday or the other day, Gavin Newsom tweeted the following. He said, quote, "There was no call, not even a voicemail. Americans should be alarmed that a president deploying Marines on our streets doesn't even know who he's talking to." Well, President Trump contacted me from Air Force One on his way to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where he'll be in just a little while. He said the first call to Gavin Newsom was not picked up. The second call Gavin picked up. We spoke for 16 minutes. I told him to essentially, quote, and this is quoting the president, "get his ass in gear and stop the riots, which were out of control more than anything else. This shows what a liar he is." Said I never called. So here is the evidence. And here is the call log that the president sent me from his phone. This was June the 7th. Now, granted, this was on Saturday. But look, there's one.
What's funny about this is how fake this looks. Like this, I don't know why they showed this. Like this looks, it's like this is just like, come on, man. I would have just said he's lying and I caught him, but showing this lady looks so. Look at this. Like Gavin Newsom. Like, I don't know. It just looks fake. I'm sorry. It looks fake. I'm sorry. This looks very bad. I wouldn't have. Maybe he didn't want to show his real phone, but I don't know what this is. This ain't no. Come on, man. Stop.
$22 in the morning, which would have been 10 o'clock at night, 10:22 at night, California time. There was an outgoing call for 4 seconds, and then there was an outgoing call for 16 minutes. So that from the president, which says is proof that he spoke to Gavin Newsom early in the morning, our time, late at night, Friday night, would have been June 6th, I guess, in Los Angeles. So, Governor, over to you for the response.
Say that's next, right? We're waiting to see what if Governor Newsom has a response to the president's. Essentially, what he has there is the receipt for what he says is the call that was made.
It's all about the
long conversation, yeah, exactly, in a 16-minute conversation. As you mentioned, as things were heating up, is the timing of that call, as things were really just beginning to get started. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
Dan, as the president.
Now, if you want to ask me, who do I think is a liar between Trump and Newsom? Of course, it's going to be Newsom. Matter of fact, Trump gets in trouble for not lying. You got to think about this, you all. The media has been hanging on every single word that Trump has said for the past decade. Gavin Newsom could lie 100 times and nobody would care. Donald Trump, out of all of the presidents, has everything he said. Matter of fact, Donald Trump tells the truth so much to where the media has to make up a lie. Donald Trump tells the truth so much to where the media, matter of fact, the criticism of Donald Trump is that he's too open and honest. Like, that's his criticism. That he said was on his mind. So if you want to ask me who's the liar between Trump or Newsom, I've never pegged Trump as a liar. Newsom, definitely is a liar. So I do believe that Trump contacted him. I do. And I also believe that Trump contacted a few people. They're not just going to send a National Guard. They got to coordinate with you. Newsom, you can tell the dummies that, but not me. They have to coordinate with you to send the troops in. And the Marines, are you crazy? They got to make some kind of call. It's crazy. Listen, it'll work on the dummies, Newsom. It'll work on the dummies, but it ain't gonna work on me. It ain't gonna work on me.
Hurled through the windscreen of their cars, and now they are firing fireworks directly at officers who have backed off a bit, I've got to say. And as the night has worn on, the number of protesters certainly has dwindled, but
they're firing fireworks at officers, not the National Guard. Why are all the videos showing them attacking the police? Not the National Guard. Now, you all are being told the National Guard being there is causing a problem. So why are they attacking the police then? Okay. Let's rewind this real quick.
rocks hurled through the windscreen of their cars, and now they are firing fireworks directly at officers who have backed off a bit, I've got to say. And as the night has worn on, the number of protesters certainly has dwindled, but they are the ones left are the real anarchists, the ones who are intent on causing the most damage, the most mayhem. Donald Trump, as we know, has ordered in 2,000 National Guardsmen, he says, to basically crush these riots. The California governor, Gavin Newsom, warned that sending in those troops would only make things worse, be inflammatory, and that certainly does appear to be the case. And now we are learning that the Defence Secretary, Pete Hegseth, has more than 500 active duty Marines on standby to come in here if necessary. So as the night is wearing on, tensions are not dissipating. Things are only going to get worse, I fear.
This Australian libtard, this good day, mate, this Aussie down under, down low libtard just said that appears to be the case. You have not seen a single National Guard member, sir. How's that the case? You have not seen, listen to what he said.
Secretary Pete Hegseth has more than 500 active duty Marines on standby to come in here if necessary. So as the night is wearing on, tensions are not dissipating. Things are only going to get worse, I fear. Learning that the Defence Secretary, Pete Hegseth, Gavin Newsom, warned that sending in those troops would only make things worse, be inflammatory, and that certainly does appear to be the case. And now we are learning
that appears to be the case. They're attacking the police. Am I in the Twilight Zone or something? Does anybody see them attacking the police and tearing up public property with no troops there? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? This is crazy. Y'all keep talking about the truth, but they're attacking the police. It's not going to work on me. It's not going to work on me. I had a good video of one of these liberals getting popped with a rubber bullet. I'm going to try to find it. She over there running her yap and got popped. See it good.
Has been declared an unlawful assembly, and in the name of the people of the state of California, assembled on the London to immediately first, which means the assembly and leave the area. If you do not do so, you may be arrested. Leave the area now.
Like, what are y'all doing? Like, this is feminine energy. Y'all grown men out there with your camera. Like, it's LGBTQ. That's what it is. It's just feminine energy. Y'all are going out. Think about it. A grown man getting up, going out there and tearing some property up. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's childish too. It's childish.
You okay? After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that was gold. That was gold. You spreading some liberal communist trash and got popped.
You okay?
Good day, mate. Good day, mate. More shrimp on the barbie. Enchiladas on the barbie. Man, come on, let me write it again. Now look, y'all ain't in Australia. So y'all play in Australia. This is you over here spreading this libtard madness from down under, and you got popped. Oh no. Dude heard her talking this with that Australian accent, spreading this liberal propaganda. He said, man, let me get up out of here. Bah!
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
You know why she got that though? She got that because she's spreading propaganda, making it worse. You're trying to show the rest of the world, you're trying to paint America in a bad light. And I reject that. I do. You trying to paint America in a bad light. I reject that. Y'all got enough going on over there. I reject it. Oh, that's funny to me. That is funny to me. Prudence said, I watched live streams during lockdowns from Oz via friends in Melbourne Park. They were shot with rubber bullets as they walked or ran away. Listen, they was getting terrorized in Australia. I saw videos of folks in Australia getting their head knocked off. I saw them trying to buck and getting their head knocked off. I saw it. Thank you, Prudence, for reminding me. I saw the same thing. They was getting their head knocked off in Australia. She come over here talking about moving. Man, girl, get out of here. I bet you done for the day. I bet she was done for the day. How about you want to bet? Yeah. Took herself to Starbucks. I bet she went to Starbucks after that. It's crazy.
They're shooting that way.
Do you all realize how bad the traffic is in LA? And listen to me. LA traffic is bad with nothing going on. Do you know what it's like when these folks are blocking the freeway? LA traffic is horrific when there is nothing going on. Can you imagine what it's like when these people are doing this? Well, they got the drums out too? People are stupid, man. Just dumb. Just dumb. Just dumb. Just dumb. Now, why would you try to ride your motorcycle through the police? Like, Why would you try to ride your motorcycle like the Mexican version of the Daredevil? What's his name? Super Dave? The Mexican Super Dave. You try to ride through the police with a Mexican flag cape and literally got clotheslined. Literally. Literally. Just dumb, man. It's just so dumb and just so.
So if you watch the news, you would think that these riots, these protesting are generic. I mean, it's logical, right? They're deporting illegal immigrants and family members are coming out and fighting against the immigration, the deportation ICE. Well, if that's the case, then why is there video circulating on the internet of boxes of N95 masks being handed out to the protesters?
And a group of people handing out those masks, N95 masks, just in case that tear gas or pepper spray is used, because we ourselves have actually seen that been used today.
Or pallets of cinder blocks being delivered to the streets where the protesting is going on.
Like, just think about this for a second. Like, think about how dumb you have to be to see all these provisions laid out for you all to protest. You know they got masks, know they got water. So they got water, they got masks, and they got cinder blocks, and nobody's stopping to think, maybe this is set up. Maybe this is staged. All the provisions for folks to protest, and y'all don't think it's a setup. Cinder blocks. On the street, just pallets of cinder blocks. Nobody questioning where they came from. Nobody's asking. Everybody just oh, it's nothing. But bless, how you know they always don't have cinder blocks on the street? How you know? Blair, my cousin said they always got cinder block on the street. Listen, I don't listen to nobody black. I could be laying down in the desert. I could be stung by a scorpion and bit by a rattlesnake. And a black person to come up and tell me to do this and do that, I'm going to tell them, keep moving. I'll wait for somebody white. I don't listen to black people on nothing. They don't know nothing. I don't listen to them. But just think about cinder blocks being on the street and nobody questioning nothing. Just cinder blocks, pallets of them.
Delivered to the streets where the protesting is going on. Makes you almost question someone wants this to happen. Like someone is purposely backing this up financially, because it ain't just one pallet, it's several pallets full of cinder blocks. People, they are trying to do to you again what they did back in the George Floyd riots. They are trying to create a narrative that people in this country are against the illegal immigration deportation. And that is 100% false. But the real question is, who are these characters that are financing this? That's the real question. So, Democrats, liberals, don't be naive.
Yeah, but he just showed you that cinder block set up. They're handing out masks. You know, it's just, come on, y'all. Come on. Cinder blocks. Cinder blocks. Excuse me. Cinder blocks on pallets.
Is wild. A mysterious black truck just passed out all of these expensive bionic face shields to protesters in LA, and the news caught it on camera. I zoomed in and found out this is the UVEX bionic shield. These are not cheap. They're around $45 to $65, and you can't just get them in bulk. But one place that sells them is Walmart. And why is that important? Because there's a new protest being promoted called No Kings on June 14th. And even celebrities like Chrissy Teigen are posting it. And it's in magazines and newspapers. And guess who's behind this message? Christy Walton. That's right, one of the billionaire heiresses, a part of the Walmart family. Now, I don't know why they would be behind that protest against President Trump, but remember, just less than 3 weeks ago, President Trump tweeted about the whole tariff situation, saying Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars of last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. So, is it possible that maybe the Walmart family didn't like that and now they're finding ways to make their voices heard? Or is this just a big coincidence? As always, let me know what you think about all of this down below.
Can you imagine this? No Kings protest. So now you know you're gonna hear a bunch of, and I'm coming back on black folks. You're gonna hear a bunch of black folks talk about Trump ain't no king. Listen, Malcolm X said it best. He said the black community is controlled by the white liberal. He said mentally, psychologically, something else, another. Basically, they control, the white liberal controls the black community, mind, body, and spirit. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people wearing masks, black people. I'm trying to figure out, is the media saying something about a new virus? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Is it because they're seeing folks on TV with masks on protesting? So they say, okay, we got to wear masks. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. As hot as it is, why do y'all have masks on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know. But this young lady just showed you that Walmart is funding this protest, the No Kings protest, June 14th. And then Walmart's also providing these masks for the protesters. I keep telling you all that they're mad at conservative, and again, all of the anti-white rhetoric, all of the anti-Western rhetoric is geared towards Christian conservative white people. It's not geared towards liberal white people. It's geared towards Christian conservative white people. So when you hear things like whiteness and white people and racism and systemic oppression and all this, they're not talking about whites as a collective. They're talking about Christian conservative white people. So all these corporations that run this country, they're ran by liberals. You can't name a conservative CEO. Y'all cannot name a conservative CEO of a major corporation. Everything that you all deal with is ran by a libtard. Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, like everything that you all deal with is ran by a liberal. All these grocery store chains, like everything that you all patron is ran by liberals. So my question is, what are conservatives actually doing to you all? We're not the ones in charge. The liberals are in charge. And how do we know this? When the Peter pandemic was underway, you just saw how many businesses you had to put the face mask on to come in. You had to show your jab card to come in. That's the majority of businesses. They're all liberal. What do conservatives control? Nothing. What do they run? Nothing. You got the one of the CEOs of Walmart, billionaire, Christie.
Is heard, or is this?
What's her name? Hold on. What's her name? It was Christie. Was it Christie Walmart? So Christie Walton, my bad. Christie Ruth Talent Walton is indeed a part of the Walmart family dynasty, although by marriage. Here's how she fits in. So this woman done married in to the money, to the billionaire status, and she's a libtard. That means who's ever sitting next to the throne, an actual person that's actually of the Walton family, married a libtard, which makes him a libtard. Walmart is behind this. So you mean to tell me the most powerful store chain in the world, Walmart, is ran by a libtard? Well, go figure. The most powerful chain store in the world, Walmart, is ran by a liberal. Y'all can't name what conservatives run in this country. You can't. Let's continue.
The state of California's request to stop Trump from using the denied the state of California's request to stop Trump from using the California National Guard to keep the peace and keep order during these protests. CNN's Elena Treen is at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where President Trump is speaking. And Elena, that's a big development, the judge denying California's request. Tell us about that, and tell us what the president has been saying in his Fort Bragg speech.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal for the president here and his administration. And we heard just moments ago.
I'll play it again so you can catch what he said.
Denied the state of California's request to stop Trump from using the California National Guard to keep the peace and keep order during these protests. CNN's Elena Treen is at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where President Trump is speaking. And Elena, that's a big development, the judge denying California's request. Tell us about that, and tell us what the president has been saying in his Fort Bragg speech.
So basically the judge denied it. So the National Guard is going to be used. So they're going to be used. But again, keep in mind that they haven't been used yet. So all these attacks have been against ICE and local law enforcement. So the notion that Trump sending these folks in was going to cause problems. The problems are already caused. The problems are already caused. Oh, yeah, that's right. And the Marines. And 700 Marines. Now, we should boycott Walmart. Jamal Brown. Now, I'm going to start a campaign. We need to boycott any company that is anti-American. How about that? How about we start a campaign? I'm starting a campaign tomorrow. We need to boycott any company that is anti-American, starting with Walmart. Jamal Bryant, taking a page from your playbook. We boycott any anti-American company. And when I say anti-American, I mean funding people, giving masks to people that's tearing up the cities. That's what I mean. I mean siding with communists and globalists. That's what I mean. Anti-American. We're starting a campaign tomorrow. Boycott Walmart. We don't need any kings. We're going to see about that. We're going to see about that.
Boston, Massachusetts now, as we check back in on one of our top stories, anti-Trump protests taking place across the country today after a tumultuous week, to say the least, on Wall Street and the economy. We want to point out, just a few minutes ago, we did show you a protest. We said it was Boston. It was not Boston. It was an unrelated protest. But what you are looking at right now is Boston. And I'm from there. I can recognize this. This is the plaza right outside of City Hall.
Hold on, you hear this man just said? Did you hear this man just said? Right, all production. Yes, China is synonymous with Walmart. Right. China is synonymous with Walmart. So listen to this report. Listen to him again. Listen to him. Listen to him.
Boston, Massachusetts now, as we check back in on one of our top stories, anti-Trump protests taking place across the country today after a tumultuous week, to say the least, on Wall Street and the economy. We want to point out, just a few minutes ago, we did show you a protest. We said it was Boston. It was not Boston. It was an unrelated protest. But what you are looking at right now is Boston. And I'm from there. I can recognize this. This is the plaza right outside of City Hall.
Now look at all these people.
It was not Boston.
And they can't tell you what they're protesting. What are y'all protesting? I got a question for the people in the back of the class. What country can you go into illegally and not get your head knocked off? First, y'all tell me that America's racist, but then you're upset because think about what they're saying. They're saying America is racist, but you expect for folks to come in here illegally. That doesn't make any sense. You can't have it both ways. America can't be racist and allow illegal immigrants to come in. It can't be both. Which one is it? The fact that you are protesting means that you all have an expectation of America that's not racist. The fact that you are crying and complaining tells the world that we are used to certain things in America, i.e., we are used to illegals coming over here with no problem. So how can America be racist, but also allow illegal immigrants to come in? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The Apex said, we're getting back to Walmart. Walmart made a profit of $15.5 billion last year, a 32% increase from the previous year. So what is Walmart complaining about? We need to boycott every anti-American company that's out there. You ain't got to go out in the streets and tell nothing. Think about it. All you got to do is just not shop from there. Like, the good thing about being sensible is you can just boycott or protest with your money. I ain't got to go out there and put a mask on. I ain't got to go out there and get hit with rubber bullets. I ain't got to go out there and tear up folks' property. I ain't got to go out there and break the law. I can just simply not buy anything from Walmart and keep it moving. It's easy. These folks got anti-Trump rallies, and for what? Come on. All these folks out there protesting Trump.
Let me say something to Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, the police chief, O'Donnell, LAPD, the LA new DA, Nathan Hochman, all of whom seem to be perfectly okay with California being a sanctuary city and not cooperating with ICE as ICE conducts these workplace sweeps, which they probably would not have to do if the authorities were cooperating with ICE when illegal alien bad guys are behind bars so they could be deported after they've served their sentences. There are a lot of insurers that have left the state of California, or the ones who've remained have substantially jacked up their premiums, making it much more expensive to operate a business in California, to insure your home in California. And because of this insane anti-cop systemic racism rhetoric, 4 months of George Floyd BLM protests, as I said at the beginning of the show, every big city police department in America is now short manpower. New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, meaning the response times are going to be longer if they are going to be responding at all, meaning that there'll be more property damage, meaning that fewer and fewer people will be willing to insure in California, and those who do insure will be charging much, much higher premiums. You want to know one of the reasons why the cost of a home in California is twice that of the national average? Part of it is homeowners insurance, which has already been jacked up substantially after these fires. And whenever there's a riot, studies have shown that property values do not appreciate the way they do in similarly sized cities where there aren't any riots. So by refusing to cooperate with ICE, you are making it more expensive to live in the city and making it less safe.
Thank you, Larry Elder, for that brilliant take. I kind of want to play it again, so I don't think we really soaked in what he said. I'm going to play it one more time.
Now, let me say something to Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, the police chief, O'Donnell, LAPD, the LA new DA, Nathan Hochman, all of whom seem to be perfectly okay with California being a sanctuary city and not cooperating with ICE as ICE conducts these workplace sweeps, which they probably would not have to do if the authorities were cooperating with ICE when illegal alien bad guys are behind bars so they could be deported after they've served their sentences. There are a lot of insurers that have left the state of California, or the ones who've remained have substantially jacked up their premiums, making it much more expensive to operate a business in California, to insure your home in California. And because of this insane anti-cop systemic racism rhetoric, 4 months of George Floyd BLM protests, as I said at the beginning of the show, every big city police department in America is now short manpower. New York.
So Larry Elder is talking about the financial ramifications of these liberal places, why the cost of living is so high. He just said that after those fires, a lot of insurance companies moved out. So think about the financial ramifications. Think about, I'm gonna ask you all a question. Why is California so expensive? Think about that. What are you paying for? I asked this question, what are you all paying for? A view? You go to work every day, you barely see the view. What are you paying for? Everything is expensive in California. What are you all paying for? You got a communist governor, a communist mayor, insurance companies pulling out, homeowners insurance through the roof. Your house costs double the national average. Like, what is the appeal? And you're surrounded by a bunch of libtard drones and clones. Folks in California are like cyborgs. They're gone. Let me clarify this. LA County and the Bay Area, drones and clones, mindless sheep. They're bots, human bots roaming around. Outside of LA County, it gets normal. Outside of the Bay Area, it gets normal. But in those places where all the people are at, it's insanity. What are you paying for? Nicodemus said the highest income tax rate. What are y'all paying for? Somebody said nice weather. We got nice weather in Georgia. I'm from California. There's nice weather in Georgia. There's nice weather in Florida. Like, there's nice weather in the South. It's nice weather in Texas. Like, what are y'all paying for?
Chicago, Los Angeles, meaning the response times are going to be longer if they are going to be responding at all, meaning that there'll be more property damage, meaning that fewer and fewer people will be willing to insure in California.
So imagine the protesting making it more expensive to live in California. If the property damage is making insurers unwilling to insure and leaving the state, then that makes the folks that remain that much, they raise the price up. So my question is, like, just think about this. Think about this. You're protesting some nonsense, first of all, but you protesting is raising your cost of living. So when you get done protesting, you go home, your bills are sky high. It don't make any sense. This is why we have to send a message home that there will be no anti-American anything tolerated. We got to send a message home. These businesses that want to support things that are anti-American, things that are globalists and communists, don't support them. These artists, entertainers, these public figures, don't support them. Because I guarantee the same people telling you to hate America are going to be the same ones in the end trying to fight to get America back normal. No. I know all these folks operate, they're double-minded and wishy-washy with no backbone. Michael Brown said, SoCal has the best climate on the planet, a semi-arid Mediterranean climate, but you're surrounded by demons, witches, and warlocks. Everything has a give and take in life. So California has great weather. What's the drawback? The pros are great weather. Now give me the cons. Give me the cons of living in California. Talking about the weather. You at work inside most of the time, and then you at home. For the amount of time you all spend in the weather, you ain't getting your money's worth. You're not getting your money's worth. You know who's getting their money's worth in California? The homeless people. The homeless people are getting their money's worth. They're outside every day, all day. If you homeless in California, I get it. Michael Brown said, I live in San Diego. Well, San Diego ain't as crazy as LA. I know that. So, but still. Oh, he said, I'm retired. What's the listen, I grew up in California. So that is my home state. But what I'm seeing now is not my home state. This is foolishness. It's death and destruction.
And those who do insure will be charging much, much higher premiums. You want to know one of the reasons why the cost of a home in California is twice that of the national average? Part of it is homeowners insurance, which has already been jacked up substantially after these fires.
American Man said, Blanche is cheap if you live in a tent and do crack. Living is amazing. Right. Like I said, if you're homeless in California, you getting your money's worth. You getting your money's worth. You getting your money's worth. If you homeless. Thank you, Michael Brown. Are you in New York? Another cesspool. Listen, the two places that are the most anti-American are California and New York. Those are the two most anti-American places.
And whenever there's a riot, studies have shown that property values do not appreciate the way they do in similarly sized cities where there aren't any riots. So by refusing to cooperate with ICE, you are making it more expensive to live in the city and making it less safe.
Thank you, Mr. Elder. Amber, you live by Fresno? Amber Cole, she said she live in Fresno. That's I've been getting my back broke, I tell you. I hope you mean back broke is in labor, and not what I hope you don't mean something else. But yeah, the Clovis area is right outside of Fresno. Oh, Chicago is bad too. You're right, Twan. Chicago is bad too. Yeah, you're right. Chicago. Yeah, I take that back. Chicago, New York, and LA are competing for the most anti-American places in America. They compete. Listen, I'm sorry, y'all, but this stuff is hot. I'm sorry. This poncho, I don't know how they do it. This poncho is hot. I'm sweating. I'm sweating like a piñata in the desert. I'm sweating like a piñata in a El Salvadorian factory. Whew. That thing was hot, boy. Caliente. Muy caliente. Goodness. I was burning up, y'all. I was burning up.
Right mind would accept that reality. So I want to be reassuring to our community. Every single graduation site is a protected site. I have directed our own police.
Hold on, I got to give credit to some comedic genius. I said I was hot, I was burning up in that poncho. Brando said need ice. This is comedy genius right here. It's hilarious. Thank you, Brando Smith. I think Baby for Life sounds like a street taco. A tamale. I was cooking in that sombrero in that poncho though, for real. But thank y'all.
Their right mind would accept that reality. So I want to be reassuring to our community. Every single graduation site is a protected site. I have directed our own police force to redouble their efforts and establish perimeters of safety around graduation sites to intervene and interfere with any federal agency who may want to take action during these joyous times that we call graduation. Not on our watch.
You know what's funny about liberals? Like it's like they create, it's like it's like it's not real. So like he just made something up. Like he just made it up, like he just said it like it's true. Like ICE is raiding graduation. Like they just like say it. At least I'm putting my foot not on my like they just lie and then create this virtue signal. I guarantee if I went to every single graduation in Los Angeles Unified School District, I would not see not one of them raided by ICE, not a single one. But the optics of it are you have police stationed outside ready to engage. Like you just create this whole, it's not even real. And the general public is just so dumbed down and just so silly and slow. They just eat this stuff up. No kind of critical thinking at all. No critical thought. Yeah, he's a superintendent of the schools. Just talking crazy. Just making stuff up. And folks are going to believe it. Because again, they're going to say, well, why would he lie? Because that's what communists do. Chuck could tell you that. Communists don't look at lying as bad. They use lying as a tactic. Even the Muslims believe that you can deceive somebody into following Allah. So he will lie because he's a communist. Duh. But they just make stuff up though, and folks just believe it. He created a whole scenario that ain't even been talked about. It ain't even happening. Raiding graduations? Stop, man. Stop.
That's a curse. If you destroy your own city and throw Molotov cocktails at the police and concrete at vehicles, they will surely deploy the National Guard. Is it tyranny to uphold law and order? You have 3 seconds. No, it isn't! Ahora en español. Si usted destruye su propia ciudad y lanza molotovs a la policía y concreto a vehículos, seguramente van a mandar la Guardia Nacional, ¿verdad? Siguiendo la ley. ¿Eso es tiranía? No, no lo es.
Yeah, I mean, what he said.
National Guard. Is it tyranny to uphold law and order?
Is it tyranny to uphold law and order? The answer is no. Y'all are asked, think about how privileged you have to be in America to think that you should be allowed to tear somebody's property up. Do you know how entitled and privileged you have to be and spoiled to think that you should be allowed to tear somebody's property up because you're mad about some propaganda? The mere fact that we have protests in America lets you know that nobody's oppressed. The mere fact that you all expect to be able to go out in those streets, hold up traffic, and destroy businesses and attack law enforcement, the fact that you all think you should be able to do that lets you know that nobody is oppressed in America. Nobody. Nobody. The fact that you all are protesting proves that America is not racist, you're not oppressed. I dare you to go to Africa and do this. I dare you. I dare you to go to China. I dare you to go to any non-Western country and pull this stunt, and I guarantee they will pull out the guillotines for you all. I guarantee they will make an example out of you all. They're only gonna take one person. They're gonna knock one person's head off and roll down the road, and then y'all will quit. I know y'all. Because y'all ain't never seen a head leave a body. I know y'all. Once y'all see a head, when somebody talking about we no justice, no peace, swing, and that machete and that head go flying, you know, look up in the sky as the birds are playing, know it's somebody's head, like our besa, and that thing is, I know y'all. Y'all not built for that. Y'all not built for heads leaving bodies. Y'all not built for it. I know y'all. Y'all will put down the masks, the signs, the cinder blocks, to take it. Y'all will tap out quickly. I know y'all. It don't take one. One person. That's all. No justice, no swing. Y'all ain't ready for it. Any non-Western country, they are going to knock your head off. And here go the crazy part. It won't even be the law enforcement. It's going to be the citizens going to do it. Like the police will never get to you. It's going to be the citizens doing it. That's the crazy part. I was asked a question before I get into these super stickers. I was asked a question about, here we go. Top Herc asked, Blanche, do you think blacks or whites will morph into breakaway societies if society breaks down? I think you will see a morphing of black and white when society goes into its second breakdown phase. The initial breakdown phase, no, because white people are going to have to, they're not going to be that trust. The white folks that will break away are not going to want to fool with black folks. They're not going to want to do it. And so there will have to be another breakdown of society for the groups to come together. Whether it be from another enemy arises, whether they believe that something is greater, they have to fight it. I don't know. Or it's easier to get resources to get. I don't know. Something else has to happen for that. A second phase has to happen for blacks and whites to come together. Because I'm just be honest with you, like white people are ready to separate. They don't plan on including black folks. I don't blame them. I'm just telling you. Now, there may be exceptions to the rule. But I also believe that white folks want to have to get their discernment up as well, because everybody isn't a foe. And being a foe isn't based on whether or not they're not white. They're going to be people of all races that actually agree with, being pro-America, actually agree with freedom. And so, but I believe in the end, they will all come together though. But initially, no. It will have to be a lot of growth that happens, a lot of proving, a lot of, seeing these people do things, because I'm telling you right now, society collapses, the most dangerous folks to be around are going to be black people. They're going to be the most, and I'm not saying that because I'm saying that for a reason, because when they don't know what's going on, they go berserk. Like if black folks don't know what's going on, like they don't know, like the TV's off, think about it. The phone will be off, the TV will be off. That means whatever they were supposed to know, they're not going to know. Like a lot of you all are going to be, okay, we know this is this agenda, this globalist, this UN true. Okay, y'all can kind of figure it out. Average black person, clueless. And then when they come to you, what you're going to tell them is going to just make them more upset. You're going to say, listen, it's not about race. These are globalists. This is, this. They don't want to hear that. Man, I know what these white folks doing this. Like you're going to be able to talk to them. Just to be honest. So again, don't be around them. So don't be around them. It'd be equivalent to the Sodom and Gomorrah with black folks in the modern times. Don't be around them. But hopefully, if people are truly following Christ, then they should be able to discern who is good and who is not. You should be able to discern that. Skin color ain't gonna cut it, because half of the white folks in America is libtards or communists. So clearly, skin color ain't what we're gonna need to use. Thank you, Top Hurt. And many people get upset when I talk like this, but I'm gonna just say this: black people don't believe collectively in things like freedom, free speech, and rights. If you think about what black folks complain about, black folks are actually complaining about freedom. Black people don't like all of this Constitution and Bill of Rights. Could you imagine the black version of the Constitution? Could you imagine the black version of Bill of Rights? Could you imagine it? Could you imagine a black Constitution? And then the question would be, okay, well, who will lead black people? You got the black church over here. You got Nation of Islam over here. You got the Moors over here. You got Hebrew Israelites over here. You got the libtards over here. You got the LGBTQs over. Like, it's so many factions of black people to where if the grid went down, it would be straight chaos. Chaos. And then the nail in the coffin would be the fact that black women run the black community. So think about a crisis situation and the leadership is black women. You are in trouble. You are in trouble. You are in trouble. All production. Hello, Blanche. Thank you. Presents Trump. All right. Thank you, All Productions. Thank you again, All Productions. My boy Calvin Bailey, thank you. What's up? Thank you for the super sticker. Greg Witch, thank you so much for the super sticker. Martin Towns, thank you again for the super sticker. Cruise Missile, thank you so much. Always supporting for the super sticker. And Alethea, always supporting. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Listen, y'all, I'll probably do a part 2 on Thursday, but Top Herc said it'd be the wig wars. Yeah, like 2020. You know, black folks didn't know what was going on. Listen, the reason why black folks lined up for that snake bite is because they didn't know what was going on. The future was uncertain. That's why black folks was clinging to what CNN and MSNBC said. Black folks was, if you go back to 2020, just think about what black folks was latching on to the most. Utter foolishness. But listen, y'all, I love y'all, and I will see you all on